So it's been another week. Where am I this week? Well, this week it was such a big week. I'm extremely unhappy with work, which is kind of the main thing. And just objectively, there's several things that go into that. I'm not gonna say anything bad about my workplace, but even in you know objective analysis, it just doesn't look like working there is going to work out. She wants me to pay to become a notary for myself, and she said she would reimburse me the cost of the class. Well, I thought it was just going to be the cost of the class, which was $85, but I also found out while I was in class, they clarified for me every notary has to own his own personal copy of the book. Well, the book is about 20. I talked to my boss about it, and she said, no, we just keep one in the office. That's all that we need. And I'm thinking, no, that's not quite right. And, I'm the person that the responsibility of being a notary falls on, because if I'm going to hold that office, then that's what I would need to do. I need to do it right. So, that's another 20, and then there's a $50 fee I have to pay beyond that for consideration, and then there's a $10 fee for an oath, and then beyond that, I would have to pay for my notary seal and maybe a notary journal, if I wanted to do it right. And, that's a lot of money to sink into a job that barely pays me, what I need to keep myself afloat. And on top of that, work has been cutting hours. Now, I know I took off half a day for that grad school webinar recently, but she also cut half a day from me on Friday, and it was, I'm kind of like, well, didn't feel like fighting with her over it. And anyway, I'm not happy about it, so I spent that time trying to find work, because that's what I always do. If work cuts hours, I spend my time looking for another job. And I did locate the career center. I tried to go by, but they close early on Fridays. And I tried rewriting my resume, but I realized there's really nothing new to put on it. I haven't really accomplished a whole lot in my field in the past 6 years since I graduated. So that was a little embarrassing to realize, but now I really, really feel like I need to get some additional education. I might need to take a course locally just to have the references that I found out I need for grad school. And yeah, it doesn't make sense to sink so much money into a job that I'm not happy at, that isn't working out. It at least made sense when I was happier there. But, and there's a lot of subjective things too, but those are kind of the objective things I don't think any reasonable person would disagree with. And it's not so much about, I'm not saying anything bad about the employer, just the situation. And she still wants me to complete my training on my own time, which of course I'm also having a problem with because I don't work for free. So we're just kind of at an impasse. And so I'm trying to figure out what to do with my life at this point. I do need to make sure that I make some time for me to, do my own stuff. I keep up with my hobbies and my learning and stuff. I've not been keeping up with my Japanese lessons at all. So that's a major disappointment. I need to get back on the ball with that, but I just don't know when. I feel like I never have enough time, but I'm also not getting enough sleep. And, I'm only getting maybe 6 hours of sleep each night. And then this past weekend, I had plans to go out and have a good time and, relax a little bit for the first time in a long time, actually going out and socializing. But I wound up 40 minutes late because my mother wanted to tag along when I was going to dinner. Well, when I was going to dinner, it was supposed to be a 10-minute head start on getting out where I was going, but with my mother here, it meant I was 20 minutes behind because I had to come back and then head out again. So I ended up being around 40 minutes late, but whatever. And shortly after I arrived, she called me telling me that the dog was sick. And a couple hours later, she was saying she thought the dog might need to go to an emergency room. So I came on back, even though it was, over an hour and a half to get back here. Then by the time I got back, she said, "Oh, the dog is doing better right now. Maybe she doesn't need to go." So I said, "We'll see. I don't really want to drive all the way to Cary with the dog in the car, and the dog doesn't respond well to riding anyway." Then at 3 a.m., she felt the other way, and I was like, "No, I can't even drive right now. We'll just have to deal with it." But that's where we were. So I'm not really happy about it because that was supposed to be my whole weekend, not just Saturday night. Because I was supposed to crash and hang out with some close friends on Sunday too. But yeah, life is not going at all according to plan. But I'm trying to get things under control and figure out what my new direction needs to be. And I really think I need to find new work and figure out how I can extricate myself from this particular job because it doesn't seem to be working out.